will be doing a collective message. Let me know how y'all feeling in the comments. Spiritual questions, anything about meditation, chakras, all of those different types of topics are free topics to discuss. So if you had general spiritual questions, you could drop them below in the chat. Alright, for my collective readings, first we got synergy and power. And all these cards kind of came out in groups, right? So we got synergy and power. So we kind of got water and earth here. As well as, I guess lightning is considered air, but you're going to keep it with water and earth. And then we got water and earth again, because we got iceberg, submerged, and tree and grounded. As well as the tree represents as above, so below. So we definitely have like a theme that's going on here. And then we got 3 more cards that also came out together. We got waterfall and effortless, fairies and earth magic, and rain and purification. So again, there's a lot of water energy here. So I definitely feel like some of y'all are learning that as you grow to understand your emotions, you're starting to realize that that's how you create the ebb and flow and bring that energy, bring that power back into yourself. Your emotions literally dictate so much on this earth plane. It is how you manifest, it is how you create, it is how you perceive, and how you perceive is going to dictate how you manifest and how you create as well. Because you can be gifted flowers, but depending on your perspective, that would either be a positive or a negative thing, or something that you don't actually care about. So this is why perception is the biggest aspect of everything. And again, that all comes back to your emotions, how you feel, right? So there are definitely some emotions, some things that y'all have buried below, that you think you're seeing everything, but you're really only seeing the surface level. But there are definitely some things buried below, because icebergs, most of an iceberg is at the bottom of the water where you cannot see it. And then that coming out with the as above so below card, I feel like there's definitely an emphasis on y'all being able to actually go within and look at what's being hidden, so that you can try to start bringing healing to those emotions, those perspectives, as well as bringing light to those different aspects of yourself that you may have been hiding for a long time, or it could have even been things that you never recognized before. But they are still playing roles in how you create, how you perceive, how you receive. So you're definitely learning how to go within more. You're learning how to create more balance. You're learning how to understand your perspective more and see how that's actually been playing a bigger role in your life than you've realized. You guys are starting to realize that your emotions, what is buried in the subconscious and in the shadows, is playing also a big role as well in how you are healing. We tend to look at things very surface level, but there's always so much more buried deep within things that we don't perceive on a day-to-day, don't even realize that it's affecting us, that it's affecting our manifesting, that it's affecting how we feel, because we don't know. And then we got light and fairy spotting. And what did I say? Y'all are having light shed on things buried in your subconscious, things buried deep within you, whether it is deep in your nervous system, whether it is emotional, suppressed feelings, traumas, things that you've gone through that you didn't even realize that you was burying this whole time, that is coming to light. And this goes and completely aligns with the message that I just put on my timeline, with what is your belief system, and does it actually match the things that you want out of life? Does it actually match how you feel about life? Does your belief system match your perspective? Does your belief system actually match what you want out of life? Or are you just thinking it? Are you relying more on your thoughts than your belief system? Because, you know, we have all these manifestation gurus. You need to write all these things down. You need to do all these different things to manifest, to create. But what a lot of people don't really talk about is your actual belief system, though. A lot of people lie to themselves and tell themselves that they think they're good enough for their manifestations, that they think they're good enough for those relationships, that they think they're good enough to make that money. They think, and they're using their mind. And it's always about mental magic. You need to manifest with mental magic. But the whole time, it's always been about your belief system. What you actually believe creates your reality. So when you get mad at the universe for it not providing you the things that you want, or you getting mad that life isn't playing out the way that you want, and then you blame the universe, you blame everybody else, you blame the people in your life, you blame situations, you blame everything. But the one thing that you don't do is go take a look at your belief system. A lot of the times we are really good liars to ourselves, and we think that we are healing, that we are doing the work. But we're only changing our thought pattern. We're not actually changing our belief system. And then your mental magic, right? Your thoughts are not fixed. It can be influenced by many different things. So when you think that your thoughts is where it needs to be, it very well could be, but let the right situation come around, and all of a sudden your whole thought process is in a different place. So now your thoughts are being controlled by this new thing that is playing out, this new experience that is playing out. Grand Rising. And this is why you cannot rely on your thoughts for manifesting, because your thoughts can be easily swayed based on what experience is being played out, based on what experience is happening. But when your belief system now is not actually being nurtured, and you're relying on your mind, your mental, now your reality is having a very hard time to create the things that you prefer, because you are not realizing that your belief system actually doesn't match what you want. And I literally asked Spirit, what can we do to get the belief system to match the desire? And purity came out. Purity came out, as well as protection. So I feel like there needs to be a purge. There needs to be a purge that happens when it comes to your belief system, as well as you need to have more trust in your protection. You need to have more trust in how your spirit team is looking out for you, how the universe is looking out for you. Things that are not happening the way that you want is because your belief system still needs work. I appreciate you sneaking out of work to listen. Yes, and then we got tree wisdom and stargazing. So again, I feel like these cards are all about you trusting your intuition, you trusting where you are being led, and you actually, again, putting in the work to work on your belief system. You're not actually doing the work when it comes to your belief system. You're only working on the surface level, which is the mental. The mental is just really a converter. It is not the creation. It is not the creator. It is just a converter. It converts this non-physical into the physical into the non-physical. It transmutes the thoughts into emotions and the emotions into thoughts, but it does not create the reality. So when all these people talk about, oh, you need to manifest and create from your mind, if your mind, you gotta fake it. You gotta fake your mindset to trick your belief system so that you can manifest the things that you want. That is not true. It is, but it isn't. What is actually happening there is not that you tricking yourself is what's working. It's eventually you're tricking yourself to change your belief system. And that's the key that people are not focusing on. It's not the actual tricking of the mind. It's the tricking of the mind that's essentially oozing into the belief system. So it always comes back down to the belief system. You have to put in that work. If you're gonna trick yourself in relation to the belief system, not just a surface level thing of like, maybe if I keep pretending that I'm rich, I'll eventually get there. It's more so about how can you keep working on your belief system until your whole nervous system, your whole body, your whole spirit, your whole mental everything starts actually transmuting and changing and shifting to match your destiny. Peace to the God. Bryce, how you feeling? Control your thoughts. Positive thoughts manifest. It's still too much focus on the thoughts though. Your belief system, which is your heart space, your emotions, is what actually needs to be worked on. The clarity is more of the focus when it comes to the mind. Yes, your mind needs to have more clarity. It's not really about positive thoughts, because you need negative thoughts too. You definitely need negative thoughts as well. So this is why you want to be careful with that perspective as well, because there's a thing as toxic positivity where you're overly trying to positive things when there's definitely value in your negative thoughts. You need to experience both aspects. So life isn't about being 100% positive. That's not the key either. Everything comes back to your emotions, your heart space, your heart chakra, your emotions. Because you can try to trick your thoughts as much as you want, but if your heart, if your emotions isn't on the same page as your mind, it's not gonna work. That's why it's always about your heart. It's always about how you feel, because emotions is energy in motion. Your thought is a converter. It is not the creator. Then we got soul family, star gathering, remembering home. Some of y'all need to tap into your Akashic records. You need to tap into your generational lineage, your books of your spirit. There's going to be some answers there as far as what is holding you back. And then Akashic records came out. I'm telling y'all, some of y'all need to start trying to tap in to your spirit information, to your energetic signature, to your makeup, your starseed makeup. And you need to start connecting with what your destiny is here, what your mission is here. Why did you come here? What did you come here to learn? Y'all are too focused on the physical reality and then getting upset when certain things aren't working out. But you're not looking at why you actually came here. You're just looking at the human experience of yourself and what that wants to experience. But what about your soul mission? What did you actually come here for? Not your 3D expectations. And then literally confirmation to what I said, we got ancestral realm, karmic release, healing the lineage, boundaries. And it came out with halls of Amenti initiation, which is secrets revealed, treasures uncovered, initiation. That's literally what I just said. Y'all need to be tapping into your Akashic records, tapping into your starseed energy, tapping into your genetic makeup, tapping into everything that makes you you, because everything is encoded inside of you. That's why we're always saying that everything that you need is already within. You need to tap in with these different aspects and versions of what makes you you, so that you can create from a space of destiny and not from a space of human experience. And for those asking, this is a collective reading, so if you would like to get read, it is $15.55, and you can send to Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. And I do not do love. I do not do love readings. Alright, do we have any clarity on how we can shift these belief systems? Thank you, Bryce, for the moderation. Okay, how can we get these belief systems back in alignment, back in order? What needs to shift in these mindsets, in these emotional beings, to get their belief systems back in alignment with their divine destiny? And we got nourishment, water your garden. Y'all are not resting enough. Y'all are not taking care of yourselves enough. And sometimes y'all be resting, but y'all still don't be doing what y'all need to be doing. Yes, sometimes rest can look like doing absolutely nothing, but sometimes rest is also about pouring back into yourself. So what are ways that you can start treating yourself, resting in ways that you're actually bringing back into you, and it's not just about you just doing nothing. Then we got the void. Some of y'all need to enter y'all void and start actually trying to do the shadow work, actually working on your belief system. Some of y'all need to change your perspective, and changing your perspective on time as well. Divine timing is always divine, so you are always going where you need to go. And like I said, y'all need to tap in with your Akashic records. You need to tap in with your DNA, with your generational structure, with everything that makes you you, because y'all have lost sight of why y'all came to this planet. Y'all are losing sight of the fact that Earth is a school. You came here to learn. You didn't come here to just receive all these things and have fun. And even though having fun is a big part of it, it is a very big part of it, but it is not the totality of what you came here to experience. You came here to grow, to learn, to experience. So you need to tap in with who you are. You need to get back in alignment with what you are and why you came here to this planet, and stop only looking at things from a human perspective, because you are way more than just a human. You are a spiritual being experiencing a human experience. So how can you get back into understanding? How can you go into your void and get to know yourself again? How can you go into your void and learn about your contracts? How can you go into your void and communicate with all the different versions and aspects of yourself? Y'all need to start talking to the different versions of you in your void, utilizing your void and your imagination to experience the different traumas, the different happiness, the different destinies, the different aspects of you. Meditation isn't just about quietness and peace. You have to utilize this void and this dark space and this ether to tap in with who you are and what you came here to do. Ways to tap into your Akashic records is to go into your void. I think a lot of people don't realize the power of their thought and the power of just asking questions in your void. You have to start to learn and accept that sometimes you just need to ask, and that is not always so complicated to get to know yourself or tap in with yourself. It's already in you. So the problem is that we make it more complicated than it needs to be. All you have to do is go into your void and just ask. I want to tap into my Akashic records. Bring me to my Akashic records. Teach me what I need to know about my Akashic records. Show me my Akashic records. Connect me to my Akashic records. I want to learn this about myself. I want to see this about myself. I want to learn about my destiny. Ask and you shall receive. When we complicate things, when we think there always needs to be a process. The only process that there needs to be is you just going within. The process is just you asking. The process is just you being open to receive. There's no actual steps to do anything at all. That's just the way our human brain needs to make it make sense. But at some point you also have to break past that and learn that it was always more simple than that. It was always way more simple than that, because everything's already inside of you. Y'all just don't be asking yourselves the right questions, as well as y'all love to think that things are way more complicated than it needs to be. A lot of the times the solution is that you're overcomplicating it. To be 1000% with y'all. A lot of the times you're overcomplicating it, and most of the time that's because of how we're being given information. That's how we're being shown things, because everybody gets online and it's like, oh, you need to light this candle and say this affirmation and do this thing and do this spell in order to tap in with you. You need to go do a Reiki session. You need to go tap in with a past life regression. You need to go do hypnosis in order to find yourself and learn about yourself. Whole time that is not the case. It only becomes that complicated when you doubt yourself. when you are not ready to understand yourself, when you are not ready to face the truth, which everything is already inside of you, that's when you need to go do all these things outside of you to get back to inside of you. But those things are supposed to just remind you on how to do it yourself. You're not supposed to even rely on those things. Those are just steps towards it. So yes, majority of the time we are overcomplicating things, and it's really just as simple as asking. Going into your ether, going into your void, and just asking. It may just take time and practice. You may not get everything right away, but that's where you just need to exercise patience. But you will eventually, if you don't get it right away, get to it. And this is why y'all need to get my meditation ebook. And don't worry, I have the first physical copy coming to me. It should get to me within the next 2 weeks. I just wanted to order just one for now, just to make sure everything is good, that the word alignments and everything is really good. So before April is out, hopefully that this book comes out perfect. I should absolutely have physical copies by the end of this month for sale. But if you are fine with ebooks, if you are fine with it just being in your phone, you can also purchase my ebook on my website, or if you have Nook or Kindle, it is also available on there as well. But once this book comes, as long as everything looks good, by the end of this month I should have physical copies of my book. So when I tell y'all I break down meditation the way nobody wants to talk about it, because honestly I think most people still don't get it, but the way that I break it down, you will finally learn how to actually utilize meditation. You will finally learn how to break past all of your complications, because you've had it all within you the whole time. And that's what this meditation ebook teaches y'all. You had it the whole time. So it's really just a redirection back to self. And that's why this ebook is going to change some lives for you. But yes, so we got throat chakra and we got root chakra, determination and be candid. So again, this is why that belief system is so necessary for you to speak and live in your truth. You have to go back into your belief system. You have to go back into your lower chakras. You have to go into your genetic makeup, your nervous system. You have to go into every aspect of yourself and recreate it, heal it, reset it. Because this belief system, this foundation that you are building for yourself is going to absolutely determine how you express yourself, how you create, how you speak your truth, and how you live your truth. All the chakras don't just operate by itself. They work together. They pull from each other. So when one is blocked, it will pull from another one in order to get what it needs. So yes, we should focus on individual chakras, but to some extent you also need to focus on all of them. No, your chakras are not closed. Your chakras have always been open. They're just blockages and obstacles that you came here with to learn, but they are always and always have been open. So you can utilize all of them. You can work with all of them. And you should still work with them individually, starting from the root down, the root up. And when I even say root, I actually mean starting from your earth star chakra and working up. Your root chakra isn't the only foundation chakra that you have. Your earth star and your soul chakras, which is in your feet, are also just as important. Chakra book coming out next. Hopefully. Promise of the future. I definitely am picking up from that card that some of y'all are just way too pessimistic. And this again comes back to the belief system. Y'all don't believe the things that you say or think. And y'all have to actually be honest with yourselves when it comes to this. Y'all are not giving enough effort to your belief system. You are not giving enough effort to healing it. No, you are not going to be perfect, but there has to absolutely be more effort given and acknowledgement and attention being brought to your belief system. We do things way too surface level because we overly focus on our mindset. We don't focus enough on our emotional set. Your set of emotions that make up your being. Your set of emotions that allows your creation. Think about it. Really think about this. How would your mindset be how you create when you create from the lower chakras? When you create babies, all of that happens in the lower chakras. Ask yourself another question. Why would the sacral chakra be both the sexual chakra but also the creation chakra? So then when it comes to creation, is it really about mindset or is it really about emotions? And that's another thing that people don't talk about or utilize. Everybody's like, your mindset, your mindset, your mindset. If you don't got $1 million mindset, you can't make $1 million. Whole time, the non-physical already exists. Your destiny already exists. The mindset is in the non-physical spectrum. It's already done when it comes up there. But the true creation comes through the lower chakras, bringing the non-physical into the physical. So you have to figure out how to take the high vibrations and sculpt it into a density that can come through and out of your lower chakras and become a physical thing. It's not just about the mindset. Yes, the mindset still matters. Yes, the mindset still needs to match your destiny, but the creation energy, the way to bring it into the physical is through the lower chakras. And again, this is why it's so important to work on your foundation first. This is why it's important to work on your belief system. Because if you are not doing that and you are only focused on your mindset, you are only working on the surface level. Therefore, you will not really be putting yourself in a position to create. Yes, you may still bring things into the physical because sometimes the way you predestine certain things, some things don't really require you to overly work through the healing of the foundation, and it is still able to be brought into the physical realm. But it's still based on that. So you need to work on your root chakra. You need to work on your earth star chakra. You need to work on your soul, your feet chakras, so that you can really start bringing into fruition your reality, your destiny. You need to really focus on your heart chakra, your emotions, because the heart chakra and the sacral chakra are both your emotional chakras. So they both need to be in alignment because they work together. The heart chakra helps bring the non-physical into the physical, and the sacral chakra helps solidifies it. So you have to put that work in. You have to start utilizing your healing capabilities to actually do the shadow work and the light work. Light work especially because you need to have fun. You need to loosen up. Thank you for subscribing, Bryce. You do get special gifts for subscribing. One of them being that you get free readings. I try to do them at least once a week if I can catch y'all on live. So you do get free readings. Seeing that you did subscribe today, you will get a free reading today. Soon as I finish this collective message, which I'm literally almost done with. Okay, yeah, we got transformation and throat chakra. Y'all definitely need to do some transforming, some rebirthing when it comes to your expression and how you feel about yourself. the way y'all are perceiving yourselves is playing a big role in what's holding you back. Alright, I think that's all the message from that deck. And now we're on the last deck for the collective read. Alright, what are some last messages that we have for this collective read that can help really solidify the importance of working on your belief system, changing how you think about yourself, changing how you perceive the world? What messages do we got left? If we have any left. It's kind of seeming like we don't. And I will answer your question about astral traveling too as soon as I'm dead. I think that might actually be the last message, y'all, because I'm not getting anything else. Alright, yeah, I think we're gonna call it. That's the last message of this collective reading. So I hope that y'all resonated with that. I hope y'all got the messages that you needed, the confirmation that you needed, whatever it is that you needed, so that you can take more control of your life, so that you can start creating more of the reality that you want to live, as well as help you really step into your destiny, because now you know how to take accountability for how you've been perceiving, how you've been living, how you've been moving forward in your life. Because we've been being taught things so all over the place and not in the right ways, that it hasn't been allowing us to really take full advantage of our reality, as well as it's been forcing us to overcomplicate our reality. So I really hope that these messages help enlighten you and bring you back into the simplicity that this earth plane can and truly is. And to everybody who tuned in, thank you for sticking around. If you did, now we're gonna switch over into readings. If you did want to book a personal reading, it is $15.55. Subscribers get the readings for $9.99, as well as y'all get free readings once a week. Right now the queue is open, so if y'all want to book, it is $15.55. Alright, so you said, how can you astral travel? So I don't know if you mean astral projection, because there are two different versions of astral experience, I should say. Astral traveling is what you do when you go to sleep, but in a way it's not automatic. In order for you to truly astral travel when you go to sleep, you have to also be able to get out of the fourth dimension. The subconscious mind takes over the astral travels or the dream world when you are still within the third and fourth density. Fourth density, you can still step out and astral travel and actually go places and go on missions and have insightful dreams, I should say. But astral traveling is when you actually start going beyond the fourth dimension and you're able to experience way more than on this earth plane. Like, you can revisit past lives, you can re-experience different versions of you can go on actual missions that are real, you can get true downloads, true premonitions, true insight of anything and everything, whether it comes to you or others. And in order for you to get to that place, you have to start lightening your density. So whether you start meditating more, the more you do shadow work, the more you do healings, the more you allow yourselves to astral travel now and get beyond that density, which is third or fourth. But again, fourth, you can still dabble in higher dimensional experiences, because it is still you going beyond that original density, which is the third. Changing your diet, utilizing crystals, utilizing herbs, affirmations. All of these things help lighten your vessel, lighten your density, so that would help you start to astral travel when you go to sleep, instead of just dreaming from a subconscious place. Even though astral travel is still utilizing your subconscious, it still takes it to a new world. Like, you can start getting picked up by UFOs and stuff like that once you really start astral traveling and you move beyond the subconscious. When you are still stuck in that third density, it can also still be kind of harder to recall your dreams, because you are not in a place yet where spirit and your spirit team and your higher self allows you to remember your dreams. So sometimes that's also part of why you don't remember, is because you're vibrating lower. So you need more energy to bring back the memories. And then see, I think you're talking about astral projection though. Astral projection is when you actually are awake and try to leave your body. A lot of the times when we experience dark spirits, dark entities, etc., a lot of the times it's actually not a demonic spirit, and it's actually you being afraid of yourself and you being afraid of your gifts. So you just start to perceive things as negative. But not saying that you don't experience negative entities, you do. But a lot of the times though, we misinterpret ourselves as being the negative entity or the dark entity, because again, we are afraid of the unknown. And you become afraid because you don't understand what you are experiencing, as far as what spirit you're picking up, what entity you're picking up on, or whatever is happening. So this is why it's also important to ask questions. Like, when you are experiencing these things, you have to start asking yourself questions like, okay, am I really experiencing a dark entity, or am I afraid of this experience? If this is an entity that is not me, am I just afraid because I can feel it and experience it, or is it because it's actually a negative being? And then if you get past that, okay, if this is not a negative being, or if it is a negative being, why am I experiencing this? Why am I exposed to this? I think we spend too much time worried about experiencing these things and being in fear of these things, or being stuck in an unknown space with these things, when the questions that we should be asking ourselves is, why don't I feel protected enough? Why do I feel like I can be interrupted or disturbed by a spirit that is not of highest vibration? What within me feels like I can even give away my power like that? So I really genuinely feel like we're always asking ourselves the wrong questions, and or not asking enough questions, so that when we do have these experiences, we just fall only into the emotional experience, and we don't put enough effort into understanding the general experience. So for one, people need to start working on not being so fearful when it comes to all of these spiritual things. Everyone jumps to fear, but nobody jumps to curiosity. Nobody asks questions. So then when they do start to experience these things, or try to experience these things, you did not spend enough time working on your mindset or your emotions. So then now when you are trying to experience it, you're always jumping to fear. You're always in a space of lack or insecurity. So it's like, when people want to jump into astral projection and all these different things, or if they're automatically experiencing it, that means you need to spend more time working on yourself. You need to heal. You have to do all these different layers of work first before y'all keep trying to do all these things. Like, y'all be trying to astral project and all you experience is fear. So then what do you think you're going to experience when you go to the other side? Fear. You're going to manifest fearful experiences because you did not work on your mindset and your emotions before you did anything. As well as everybody be wanting to contact extraterrestrials, but did you even work on your fear tactics? Did you work on your emotional projections first before you start trying to connect to somebody? Nobody spends time working on their fear, but then want to go do something, and then they become the person talking about how spirituality is evil or spirituality is demonic. Whole time is you're experiencing yourself, you're experiencing your own fears. So it's like, please work on yourself first before you try to do all these things. Please work on your emotional stability before you try to do any of these things, because for one, you're not going to understand it, and then second, you're going to doubt everything that's happening. Because guess what, when you are first starting off, you don't just see spirits, you see shadows. That's a part of the process. So everybody be quick to think and label shadows as negative entities and spirits. Whole time, that's not even how that shit works. A lot of the times, you only see shadows because your abilities aren't active enough yet to see them in their fullest form. Second, sometimes shadows are just shadows. Like, your spirit guides can be shadows, and does not make them evil. So you're like, everybody needs to do more work, more understanding before dabbling into all of these things, because you are going to be quicker to label it from a space of fear than to have done the work and the research and finding the understanding first before dabbling into it. Now again, for those who didn't have a choice and just started to experience these things, from whether you just being curious or being more open-minded that you just start to experience these things, again, that's a reason to go back to self, to heal self, to work on your shadow work. You need to start identifying the fears. Why are you experiencing these fears? And trying to understand, again, why you are giving so much power away, or why you are neglecting learning more. Because sometimes we don't realize that we want to be so open to all these things, and we don't spend enough time working on how those things make us feel and what shadow work, again, that we have to do. So again, if you get to it before you could do the work, now this is just a reason to redirect yourself. And before trying to go even further into the spiritual things, you get to know yourself, you get to know your fears, you get to know your insecurities, you get to know why you lack certain protection, or what you get to know your fears of the unknown. You get to learn more about seeing and sight and all of these different things, because a lot of things are mislabeled. A lot of things are misunderstood. So you need to understand, what is my foundation of spirituality based on, and where, like, what is the validation of the reality that I am basing my perspective on, my knowledge on. You gotta go back. You don't keep going forward into it. You need to work on self. You need to heal self. You need to work on your fears. You need to operate out of a space of the heart chakra and a stabilized emotion. We can't keep trying to dabble and do all these things, but our foundation isn't set. So when it comes to everything, you always have to go back to your foundation. If your foundation isn't steady, sturdy, or stable, you shouldn't proceed into anything else other than building your foundation, stabilizing your foundation. And without that, none of anything else matters, because you can completely be misinterpreting everything that you're experiencing, and then you'll have to go through it again anyway from the right perspective. So I'm not saying that there's really a right or wrong perspective. You still got to go through all of it, but nothing matters unless you've worked on your foundation, and that's just really the matter of everything. It doesn't matter how to astral project. It doesn't matter how to astral travel. It doesn't matter how to utilize psychic abilities. If you haven't even looked to see at what you are scared of, you do not even know what you fear, you should not be worried about how to do anything other than working on yourself. Because nothing matters unless your foundation is where it needs to be. Because then you will always perceive everything from a state of your perspective, which is what you fear and what you love is going to dictate how you perceive. So if that is not being worked on, nothing else matters, because you might end up perceiving things all types of wrong until you find what's right for you. Foundation work, first and foremost. Foundation work, always. When I started to see dark shadows was when my frequency was low. It felt like hell. If that's what you need to experience, it's also what you need to experience. Like, we can't always, like, you're gonna be low. You're gonna have to experience being low. Even when you learn how to be high, you still go back to being low. This is all a part of the experience. There's no such thing as just being high all the time, or it doesn't mean that something is wrong. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be experiencing that. There's a reason why your energy went into a low frequency, and there's a reason why you started seeing shadows. Like I said, that could have been your way of trying to do shadow work. That could have been your way of trying to understand what you need to heal. This could be your way of figuring out what you need to work on. Alright, my bad, Bryce. We got super off track. Let me know, Bryce, if you want a general reading, or if you had a question. Alright, general it is. One second. Okay, cool. I'll definitely put that into the energy as well. Okay, yeah, we definitely got ebb and flow that came out with ancestors, generation. Can we get some clarity? River movement, so there's definitely a lot of water here so far. I'm definitely getting though that you've been going through some generational cycles, but you're finally starting to get some movement though, even though it may not feel like it. You're definitely getting some movement, and it is what's been playing a role in why you didn't feel like you were moving forward, because it was just how heavy that lesson was, that it felt like you wasn't making progress, but it was because of how deep it was. And then we got abundance came out with believe in magic and pure intentions. So I definitely feel like something that you need to do right now, which resonates with the collective message, was it's really time to work on your belief system. Definitely working on your belief system. You're not believing in your magic. You're not believing in the abundance that you have accessible to you. You're not seeing your pure intentions. You're only focused on what's going wrong. And you're not focusing enough in why it's happening, or what it's trying to show you, what it's trying to teach you. So definitely have to change your perspective. And longing for home, homesick for the stars. So I feel like, yeah, your focus is in all the wrong places, and that's why it feels so stagnant, or feels like you can't do the right thing. And it's because you're not focusing on the things that you should be focusing on. Therefore the solutions aren't seeming like solutions, or the problems are seeming like forever or more detrimental than it needs to be. And then, yep, we got surrender to the sweetness. This is Vesuvian energy. Make love to life, pleasure, joy. And that came out with activated earth. Power places, ley lines, trust where you are being led. So like I said, you are overly focused on the wrong things. You are overly focused on the problems, when the problems are just there to help you become better. It is there for you to grow, to expand, to exceed your own expectations, to be able to actually expand. You have to start learning how to break down problems better, in the aspect of like what it actually serves, what it actually means for you, instead of looking at problems as just problems. Because there's always an underlining message or meaning behind it. There's always more to it. So you have to start being able to turn and mold it into happiness, turn and mold it into what it needs to be, which is just here to help you excel, here to help you grow, here to help you literally take off. So definitely be softer on yourself, be softer on your experience, be softer on people, be softer on your expectations. Yeah, because you are doing some deep karmic clearing. You got the violet flame, and it came out with the Sirius star blessing. It says push through, be seen, proceed, and yes. You're going through huge transformations. You are clearing out a lot of energy right now, heart chakra energy especially. I don't know, I keep hearing that you're not trusting the process, so it's like, what do you need to do? Well, what does he need to do, Spirit, to start trusting his process more? To start yeah, I got steadfastness, which is forward movement, right? What came out behind it was nurture and achievement. This card is all about duality and nurturing the inner child. So what I'm getting from this as well is, in order for you to move forward, like I said, you gotta start looking at things through duality and not keep tunnel visioning what you are experiencing, what you are going through. There's so much more to what you are experiencing. There's so much growth that is needed to come from this, that is like promise of the future. Like, you definitely have so much to look forward to, but you're just overcomplicating it. And it makes sense though, because due to whatever childhood things that is being triggered right now, it's again dealing with your emotions. So this is an opportunity actually for you to work on your emotions. This is an opportunity for you to learn to love yourself even more. What feels like you're being brought away from yourself is actually trying to help you get back to yourself. So it's like, how can you start looking at things from a dualistic nature? And I know you probably feel like you are, but depending on what triggers you though, if you let it bring you away from that dualistic nature. So this commune card, I feel like, is trying to say that the different versions of you are not all on the same page. Like your inner child, your shadow, your higher self, your ego, y'all are not all on the same page. So depending on what experience happens, different versions of you kick in. So you may not always look at things or come at things from a dualistic nature. So definitely need to go spend some more time in your ether, talking to all the different versions of yourself and learning why y'all are not on the same page. Like, what shadow work, what healing do each of them need to start bringing y'all back into harmony. You're not having a rough time trying to connect. You are avoiding something. You gotta change the perspective. You are avoiding something. Alright, this is going to be the last deck. Can we get some clarity on what is being avoided? And stopping Bryce from getting to this harmony. Ooh, we got freedom. So definitely try to identify all the ways that you don't feel free. Then we got fire, which this card also gives me like Phoenix energy, transformation. So part of this, I think you're looking at your transformation as you being hindered, when in actuality it's trying to lead you to freedom. So I think it's just your perspective that needs to change. And Earth, nurture came back out again. So you're not, I feel like you're not nourishing yourself the way that you could be. You may think that you are, but too much of anything isn't good for you. Like, yes, you do spend a lot of time in nature, you know, getting your head right and whatnot, but you need other things to refuel you as well. Stepping through. Stepping through and shining your light. I feel like there's definitely things that you want to do with yourself, like you want to showcase yourself more, but you're not giving yourself that freedom because you're getting too caught up in a routine that is very helpful for you to heal, but not helpful towards you stepping out of your comfort zone and putting yourself out there. And if you feel like you don't know what you're supposed to do or what you can do, you do know. You just gotta change your perspective. And that's why you feel like you can't connect with yourself, because your mental space is changing. So you're not sure how to think about things from that place. But it's because you are being pushed to change how you are looking at things. And you are being pushed to change how you perceive things, because like I said, everything is already like the way that it needs to be. It's just your perspective and your belief system definitely needs a lot of work. how you take care of yourself needs to change as well. But pretty much it's all about your perspective and your belief system. That's definitely what's being highlighted, as far as like you need to step outside. You need to try to step out and look at things from a bigger picture. Because like I said, even the things that you could be doing with yourself, like you're looking at everything from a small perspective when there's a whole bigger perspective and different ways that you can do things with what you already are, but you just need to look at it from a different view. So again, that's why you're having problems connecting, or why you probably feel like you can't think right, or whatever the case is because you got too accustomed to doing things a certain way, and now that you're growing, you're being asked to handle things now from a different way, from a different perspective. As you grow, your perspective grows, your spirit grows, your mental grows, so you're still kind of like trying to operate from who you was and not giving enough openness to who you're becoming. And learning that with that comes a change in how you perceive, a change in how you think, a change in how you feel. Like you're kind of overcomplicating the shift, because you're kind of wanting things to remain the same, but who you are is changing. So get to know yourself again. I feel like that is the key for you right now, what you need to be doing. Get to know yourself again and who you are now. Because you're experiencing you from the old you, but you're a new you. So how can you get to know you? But yes, I hope that was helpful. I hope that gave you some clarity. I feel like it did. And let me know if you had any other questions or anything, because if not, I'm about to head off. Yeah, it's definitely time for you to get to know yourself again and explore who you are. That's what's happening, and I think that's why you're having so much conflict, because you keep trying to approach you and handle you from an old perspective, an old version of you, when the whole time you've been more than transforming into a whole different person. So all of those things won't apply to you anymore, and especially if you don't know what you like, that's definitely calling for a whole lot of self-time and self-exploration. You gotta get to know yourself again. And I feel like that's what you've been avoiding. It's like you want to just know, but it takes experience to get to know you again. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes you doing things in order to figure that out. So that is definitely your homework. What are the different things that you can do to get to know yourself again? What are some questions that you can ask yourself to get to know yourself again? And really just start from there. But yes, I'm definitely about to get off of here. If you want, we can continue this conversation. Just DM me, okay? Because I definitely got to go handle some things too. So, but definitely, like, you could still message me about this so we could continue the conversation. But I do need to go. I, again, hope that all of those messages resonated with you and helps bring you the clarity that you need. I'll definitely tap in with you on the flip side. Alright? Peace, y'all.